Jim Norton Show starts now.
Hairy pussies have never been a thing of attraction for me. And I always liked them shaved, but I found myself, and I brought it up earlier in the week, really enjoy. I guess because I like the big vaginas, but I found myself looking at this hairy website because this one girl, Bianca Stone, who I've talked about, she's a porn girl, had this amazing, massive vagina, which was sexy, but she's like really hairy. That's what her thing is. She's a hair model. And hair, I never liked it, but because it was on this vagina that I think is so sexy, I can't stop watching her movies. And I'm like, I'm 44 years old. And my ex-girlfriend was teasing me because she's like, you made me laser everything. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand. It's not like I want to date a girl with a big hairy pussy. I don't think I could do that. But just on this one girl, it's super, super sexy to me. And I'm like, am I getting a new fetish at this age? Like, you think you know yourself and you know yourself sexually. And I've recently been interested, and I've been looking at feet a little bit. Just like in videos. Like, oh, she has nice feet. I wonder what they smell like. Like, is that just me being so jaded that I'm just moving on to the next drug? Like, if I was still drinking, would this be the equivalent of going from beer to vodka?
Probably. It's something new.
It's something new. But I don't want it. It's not what I want from my... I'm not a foot fetish guy.
I saw she tweeted you back.
Oh, yeah, she did. She was actually really nice. And she emailed me because she heard the segment. But it was friendly. And I told her, look, we had a good time with it. And, you know, she said she was very appreciative of us speaking highly of, you know. They're always nice, those girls.
Highly, sure.
I did. Yeah. And those girls are always very, very nice. So, you know, if you want to check out her Twitter or whatever. If you're into that. If you're not, then don't. But if you are, she's the go-to gal. Now, Mick in Illinois has a silly question. Mick?
Hey, Jimmy.
Hello.
Hey, I'm like, a year and a half away from being 40, and I still get hard-ons. I mean, I still wake up in the morning, and he's up before I am. But my question about Viagra is, does it make it harder, or is it just help you last longer? Because obviously we all remember when we were kids, you could cut stone with how hard it was. And when you get older, it's like, I'll just kind of hang around here a little bit, you know.
Right.
So it's not like it used to be, you know. It's not that throbbing...
Yeah, turgid, delicious gift. Yes, well, Florentine would always say, "I got a soggy six going." So that's
right.
What does Viagra make your dick harder? Yes, it does. It makes your erections harder. Cialis, Levitra, all the same thing. It makes them harder. It makes them last longer, and it's a little harder to come on them. But it's well worth it. Because the great thing about, I think some of it is a very, very physical reaction, obviously, but a little part of it is psychological. Because you just have confidence that your cock is going to work. So, you know, you just react, like if a girl just touches you, all of a sudden your dick is poking obscenely through your satin underpants or whatever else is I wear in public. My satin sweatpants, my white satin sweatpants. But, yeah, it makes your dick harder, but it also relaxes you more. So if your doctor says take it, take it. If not, just bootleg it like I do from Canada. Thank you, my friend.
Okay, thank you. I just didn't know if it just helped it last longer or if it was...
Yeah, it takes a while to cut. It does make it last longer, yes.
Right. Thanks, Jimmy.
Okay, Manny in Oakland. I have definitely can help this guy. Hi, Manny.
Hey, what's up, Jim?
Hi, buddy.
I got one question. Actually, a couple. When are you coming back to the Bay Area?
I do not know. I want to book San Francisco, but sooner or later I'll get out there.
Okay, I got a question. My wife has been getting extremely overweight, and she's extremely sensitive about anything I talk to her when it comes to about her.
Sure.
So
she's become a fat woman who is very sensitive about you mentioning that she's becoming a fat woman.
Yeah, I mean, she kind of disgusts me when we go eat.
Oh, because she's eating poorly. Are you there? Oh, we got cut off. This fucking fat wife probably, maybe she probably fell against the side of the house, knocked the wall out. Good improv, Jim. And his question was, how do I tell her she's getting fat? Moo around her a lot. Whenever she walks in, make cow or pig noises. I don't know. That's a tough one because you love her. She's your wife. You don't want to hurt her. You might have to have an honest discussion with her and say, it's bothering me that you're putting the weight on. I feel like go from the health angle. Don't say, look, whenever I look at you naked now, it makes me think of a fucking diaper filled with vomit. That's what your body does to my dick. Picture a vomit-filled diaper. That's what you do to me. You don't want to phrase it like that.
Line 1 sort of has the same issue.
Line 1 is I'm obsessed with Harry Potter.
It's lost a bunch of weight. How do I convince my wife to lose weight too?
Oh, okay. Let's go to this guy because maybe I can help destroy 2 marriages at once.
Hey, Jimmy, the thing is like, I lost 120 pounds. I'm still 240. I'm not perfect, but I'm working.
Sure.
But my wife, at first, she was kind of doing it a little bit, and then she just won't now. She like, I run every day, and I do push-ups and sit-ups because I can't afford a gym membership, and I work long hours.
Okay.
So I run like 5 miles a day. I do push-ups and sit-ups throughout the day at work.
Cool. You're taking care of yourself. Good.
Yeah, and I'm trying. I try to eat better. I still fuck up a little bit because it's it's hard.
Yeah, of course.
You're doing so good.
I fuck up too, though. I had burger this morning. I mean, we all have those little fucking slips. The key is once you have one to not write it off and go. Because right now I'm looking at my stomach, going, I feel fat and I look gross. But it's like, just shut up, you fucking cum sniffer. Just fucking go to the gym and shut up. That's what I got to tell myself.
When you look in the mirror, is it hard to see that you've lost weight?
No.
Like, I still see my old self in the mirror. Like, I've lost 120 pounds. I still look like a fucking bubbling, disgusting mess. And so it's hard for, like, I'll tell my wife, like, I've lost this weight. All you got to do is run, baby. All you got to do is run. I'm trying. She won't do nothing.
Right.
It's like, I work 16 hours a day. She works 8.
She's like Ginny Sack, just fucking, she's binging on fucking food in the basement while you're out at work. I know what you're saying, and I also understand seeing that same picture in the mirror. I do acknowledge I've lost a lot of weight, though. Like, I'll look in the mirror and I see a difference. But then there's days like today where I feel like I'm having a fat day because if you eat bad 1 or 2 days, you're like, oh God, I'm right. Because there's that sick part of me that wants to be unhappy. And it really is a part. It's that sick part of me that wants to fail or that wants to be miserable or that sees myself as worthless or ugly. And I don't mean the humorous part, like where I talk about it and make fun of it or air it in public. But there's that real part. So the key is to how to not listen to that part all the time. Because there's times where that part is right. Hey, dummy, you look like shit. Do something. But then there's times where I'm doing good and I eat bad one day and my mind goes, you look like shit again. Just fuck it. And I have to recognize the difference between those voices. One is my mind going, hey, stop doing what you're doing. It's bad. And the other one is a sick part of me trying to make me feel bad so I fuck up more. So don't listen to that part. It's hard.
You nailed it with Fat Day because, like, some days I can almost see a fucking ab starting.
Yeah.
And then, like, the next day, it's like it fucking hangs down. It's like, what the fuck? Yesterday I thought I saw a goddamn ab. I did sit-ups till I fucking cried. I did push-ups till my fucking shoulders were about to break. And I can't even see I can't make a muscle in the mirror. And then the next day it's like, oh, look, I almost got an OPV.
Well, the key is to occasionally realize that, the good things you're seeing are probably more realistic than the bad ones, because the bad ones are from old habits and and thank you for your call, buddy. I appreciate that very much. It's hard to get somebody else, a comedian named Colin Jost, who's a writer for Saturday Night Live. He was on that Gotham show I did last night, and he was one of the guys who was, he was very funny, and he did a funny bit about if you better both lose weight together, because if one of you loses weight and the other one doesn't, and he goes through this funny thing about when people see you guys together, and basically it's one person gets the compliment and the other doesn't, but he did it, obviously in a funny joke. But it's kind of hard to convince somebody because you don't want to offend somebody you love, and you don't want to go through a month of arguing. But when they're like, I'm trying, and they're still eating fucking French onion soup and eating a donut, look, and I understand a fucking addiction because I'm a psycho, and I'm not saying to fat people, fuck you. I know it's really fucking hard. And I mean that. You have the hardest one. Food's even harder than sex because you have to eat. But don't convince yourself that you're trying hard when you're eating bread and eating shit all the time. Convince yourself of that, maybe, but don't let me hear it. Because you think I didn't want to eat 2 of those fucking burgers today? I wanted to shove 8 of those sliders into my fucking cunty face, and I couldn't. Once in a while, you have to say no. So, good luck, my friends. And who's the guy that needs Josh from Boston needs a book recommendation on what? Hold on, before we go to him. Are we already on him? Sorry, Josh. There's one I really want to address. I just saw this. Brian, let me talk to Brian in Boston. Sorry, Josh. Just hold tight. Hi, Brian. How are you?
Good, buddy. How you doing?
Good, good. It sounds like an honest topic, so thank you for calling. What's your question?
I'm just kind of curious, like these free porn sites that you go to, like the X Hamster or RedTube and stuff. When you look at the teens, or when I look at the teens, are they all legal?
Oh, yeah. On X Hamster and those, sure. Those girls are probably 18 to 23. They just look younger. But your thing says, you know, I'm worried the teen porn I'm watching is kiddie porn. Now, are you worried that...
I didn't say that.
No, that's what it says on this thing.
Well, I just want to make sure they're legal. You know.
Oh, okay. Are you worried about it being underage? I think that they're all pretty legal because they all have to sign off in this day and age. You're not looking for them to be younger, are you?
No, God, no.
Okay. I think they are all legal, yeah. I mean, I never, ever worry on one of those main sites, because, especially after the Tracy Lord scandal years ago where the queen of porn had to just drop out. I don't think that, I think that they are very, very careful in porn about that. Like, you know, when you look at pornography and the amount of shit, and even the fucking libertarians are phony when it comes to sticking up for people. No one defends people in porn. All they do is attack porn. And as a group, they fuck for a living. And look at the few, and I mean minuscule amount of AIDS problems they've had, like, and a whole thing. Considering the amount of people that do that shit for a living. Or the very few underage fucking problems that they've had. Like, they are extraordinarily careful in porn. So I think you're safe on X Hamster or any of those major sites, XTube. I think that they have to have proper documentation and proper paper, because nobody wants to go to jail for that shit. They sent Max Hardcore, whose real name is Paul Little, to jail. And by the way, where were all you fucking phony civil libertarians? Where were you when this guy went to jail for 4 years for obscenity? And they were all, he was doing like that they were all little girls that he was fucking, but they were all adults. And you could show little girls being killed in a movie. So what he did was, and thank you very much for the call. I appreciate it, buddy.
Take care. We love you.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry to cut you off. But, yeah, what he did was tasteless. And, you know, they have him ship it to Tampa. That was some, like, you know, technically illegal thing. But what he did might have been tasteless, but it was perfectly legal, and they were all 18 years old and consenting adults. Where the fuck, where was Hollywood? Where were all you phony cocksuckers in Hollywood when this guy was being sent to prison for obscenity for doing something with consenting adults? Imagine if that was a regular actor, and excuse me for going off on a tangent here, but imagine if that was a regular filmmaker going to jail. These fucking Hollywood fucking phonies can't defend Roman Polanski fast enough, and he really did fuck a 13-year-old. They cannot fly out of the country fast enough to work with Roman Polanski, because he is a brilliant film director. They cannot work with this guy fast enough, and he really fucked a child in the ass in a hot tub. But Max Hardcore only making it seem like he was fucking young girls, all fucking legal girls. Not one of these phony cocksuckers came to his defense. So I think you're safe, but I think porn people should get a lot more credit for behaving responsibly than they get. They really get very, and every time something goes wrong in porn, they're like, oh, look at this industry, it's killing everybody. Fucking annoys me. So, all you politicians out there, even you libertarians, are fucking phony when it comes to this stuff. So let's go to Josh. Sorry, Josh. The book recommendation, what are you asking?
Yeah, I've gotten a few good book recommendations from you. I've read the Damien Eccles. I've read the Chris Kyle book, which was awesome. But I'm at a wall. I don't know what else to read. I remember you guys had Mike Baker on, the CIA agent. Did he ever write a book?
I don't know. I didn't read his book, but I can tell you a great biography, honestly, and I'm not just Ozzy Osbourne's autobiography was tremendous.
Okay.
Even if you're not an Ozzy fan, it's hilarious, and it's an amazing rock biography. Peter Criss's biography was fucking great from Kiss. So one of those two books were both tremendous books. All right, buddy?
Okay. Jimmy.
Yes, sir.
I had a blast over in Somerville. I was at the second show. My wife is the one that took me for my birthday. And I had a blast. The only issue I had was I shook Kenny's hand and he just about ripped my arm out of the socket with a straight face.
He can't help it. You've seen the Munsters. He runs through the fucking door every week. Thank you very much for the call. He means well. Darren in North Carolina.
Yes, sir, Jimmy.
Hi, Darren. I'm actually standing up like Eric Bogosian in talk radio because I want to see him what a real talk radio guy is like. Sorry, buddy. Go ahead.
Oh, man. To start with, I've been a functional alcoholic for about almost 30 years, and
wow,
if that wasn't bad enough, about a year ago, I had surgery on my lower back, and I guess you know where this is going.
Yeah.
Now, I'm a full-blown opiate addict, and I mean, I'd rather have that than alcohol now, and I've tried stopping so many times, and with the withdrawal symptoms and just the fact, I've made it a week one time. That's all I can make it, and then just the mental addictiveness of it kicks in, the depression, everything. But basically, I guess my question is, if I could just get through the withdrawals, I mean, I think I could kick it, but do you have any?
Well, I would say this. First of all, I think functional alcoholics have a harder time because you guys can drink a lot longer and convince yourself that there's nothing wrong. I was extraordinarily dysfunctional in my, I only drank for a few years, but had I been more functional, I very well may have drank until I was 30 years old if I made it. So I don't envy guys that are functional or periodic alcoholics. I would suggest if you have insurance, getting to a rehab. You know, if you don't have insurance, go to a detox of some sort, and then maybe find a 12-step program. But you know you need to stop. And life, there's a great life. It's not who you are. It seems like it's such a big part of your life that that's who you are, and you're giving up this gigantic piece of your identity and your being and your existence. But you're really not. You're giving up a fucking, as they say, a monkey on your back. You're getting a weight off of you. You're not losing anything. You're getting something terrible out of you. It's like getting a cancer cut out of you. So I would suggest a rehab, okay?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I can't even, it's hard to even get out of bed without, taking my meds, man.
Yeah.
I can't even function during the day. It's obsessive, and I just feel like I can't even live without it now. And that's just what it does to your brain. But
you can live without it because a lot of us are. The key is to get into a rehab, and it's not the easiest thing, but it really is. It gets easier and easier, and it's worth it. Your whole life will be so much fucking better, man. You're not losing anything by giving it up. You're losing nothing. Somebody described it to me many, many years ago. He said, picture, and it sounds maybe corny now, but he said, picture life is like a buffet, and everything is on that table. And if you pick up alcohol and drugs, nothing else on that table is available to you. But if you give them two up, then you can have anything else on the table that you want. And I heard that in probably 1988, and I never forgot it. Because there's people who succeed when they're drunk or whatever, or they're doing drugs. But life just opens up to you when you're not doing that. And it's not always perfect, but believe me, it's so much better than you can imagine it is without it.
And dude, I've struggled for months now to not graduate to heroin. I just can't let myself do it. That's why I've got to stop this bullshit sooner or later. But I appreciate it, Jim.
All right, buddy. Get into a rehab. And the worst that can happen is after 30 days, you save up and you have money for a great party. So I would suggest doing that, okay? Bye-bye, buddy. Okay. Let's talk to Rich in Rhode Island.
Hi, Jim. Thanks for taking my call.
Hi, Rich.
Myself and two of my friends we're all around 25 years old and we graduated from college. Been great friends with one of them since kindergarten, the other since freshman year of high school.
Okay.
Two of us now are in graduate school, and the other's been working a job for allegedly a year and a half, and said he's moved into an apartment within the past few months. Recently we learned through his sister that the friend with the job has been compulsively lying to us for the past year and a half.
Yes.
Turns out he's never held a job at the place he's claimed. No one there has ever heard of him. It turns out he doesn't rent an apartment, as it's a condo that was just sold last month. He's getting kicked out of his house at the end of May, and he's even been lying to his girlfriend regarding his apartment and living situation. Me and my friend, we feel slighted because we've been such good friends for such a long time, but we want to know how to approach him without him resenting us for prying into his business.
But that's amazing to me. Like, I understand exactly what you're saying. There are first of all, I wouldn't take it personally. He's not doing it to you, he's just doing it. Compulsive liars are enraging, but there's also, it's a sickness, because imagine just having to lie about everything. Like, sometimes you lie. If you cheat on a girl, you lie. If you steal something, you lie. But I get why you're lying there. But these compulsive motherfuckers that lie about everything, I hate them and in another way I feel for them. But that is how crazy we are as their friends. This cocksucker's been lying to you for a year and a half, and you're like, how do I tell him the truth about his full of shitness without offending him? Fuck him. You know, you could tell him nicely. You and your friend can go, look, we're not getting into your business, but we feel like you've betrayed us by lying. And he might go, no, it's just I was supposed to go, but my boss dropped the rope down the shaft, you know. Then fuck him. Detach from him. Because what can he possibly offer you if he's just fucking lying all the time? I think if you talk to him about it, you and your friend together, without being these accusing dickheads saying, look, man, we still love you, but what's going on with this? And maybe you'll help him. And if he just lies, lie, fib, story, lie, fib, then just fucking walk away from him.
Fair enough.
All right?
Hey, thank you very much.
Good luck, buddy. Let's see, Jordan in New York.
Hey, Jimmy, how you doing?
I'm good, Jordan. You have hypochondria, huh?
Yeah, man. I mean, for about 5 years, and it's definitely high anxiety. You know, I get a lot of panic attacks. But
sure.
Recently, I had last week, I had this allergy attack. I was in the car. I was, coming home, and I was in traffic. I'm like, fuck, I think I'm dying. I'm like, these thoughts run into my head. I'm like, fuck, what's happening? I pull over, go to the ER. The first thing they say to me is like, have you ever had anxiety before? And I said, yeah, but find out what's wrong with me. Turns out they did all the shit. Nothing was wrong. They gave me Benadryl because I had a little bit of allergies. I still do. But it's just fucking destroying my life because all I can do is Google symptoms, think about what I have, and it ruins relate. I'm a good-looking dude. I'm a writer, so I'm always on the computer. I'm always, but that's also bad because I'm always Googling shit. And then, I think a lot because you think a lot because you're a writer. You start coming up with these fucking things. And at what point do I say, who gives a shit? Like, if you die, you die. Whatever, just live. But I could say that intellectually, but
it doesn't travel. I know what you mean. You know the words, but it doesn't have the meaning for you. It's part. I think that's an OCD or some sort of. There's obviously a reason people have that. And again, I suggest therapy a lot because there's a way to. It's easy to go, hey, just buy yourself a new pair of shoes. But there's a real process to have to work through to get over that. But it is possible to get over it. I don't understand exactly what causes hypochondria. I know Carlin's bit on germs and how fucking obsessed we are with it. It drives me crazy, people's obsession with germs. And there is a self-centeredness with it and a self-obsession. But I don't know what the process is to get over it. Just go to a therapist or read a self-help book about it. I mean, people have been through what you're going through. Just understand that your mind, 90% of the time with that stuff is bullshitting you. 5% of the time, it's not bullshitting you, but it's wrong. So 5% of the time, you're actually going to get sick. And the other 95% is all shit. It's crap.
Right, yeah, the problem is every now and then, I'll go to a guy and say these, and he'll be like, yeah, maybe you should get that checked out. Like, if he has no fucking idea that I have hypochondria, and then I panic. I'm like, oh shit, this guy must know something. But I'm starting to realize that my brain and everybody else's brain works in cycles, like you were kind of saying. 90% of the time, it's just your brain. You can't rationalize your brain. It's the one doing it to you.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay, 27. What does the average human being live to? Like, not 80 maybe? So what hypochondria, what are you going to do? Instead of being 75, you're going to live to 80? Like, fucking just enjoy. Like, none of us want to get sick, and be smart about it. But, the hypochondria is just ruining your life. What's the use of living longer if all you do is worry about living longer? It's worthless. It's valueless.
Right. All right, man. Thanks so much.
Okay, man. Hope you're not sick. You sound sick. I hope you're okay. He didn't sound very good. I would have my throat checked. You might have cancer. All right, Terry in Chicago. Terry? Hello? Trav?
Oh, hey, am I on air?
Yes, you are, Terry. You're on the radio.
Yeah, my wife's got she's been diagnosed with a tilted cervix.
Okay.
And sex is very painful for her. And I mean, every time we have sex, it's almost like, it's like a rape or something. I mean, I can only get
What are you, bragging?
I can get 2 inches of my cock in, and she's running away from me on the bed.
All right, so what, is she the only woman ever born without a mouth or asshole? There's other ways.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. She's not that kind of gal, but...
She's not that kind of gal? Well, she won't blow you?
No, we're kind of past that stage, too. We've been married 20 years. I don't know.
Wow, okay. I don't know. I would just say fuck her slower. I don't know. I mean, if she's not willing to blow you, what is your question?
How do you fix a tilted cervix?
That I don't know. You know, get a fucking, I don't know. Just lay her on her back, try fucking her that way. Put her on her stomach and fuck her that. There's got to be one way you can stick it in where her cervix is the right direction.
Okay.
How do you fix a tilted cervix? I don't know. Divorce her. That's what I would do. Just jerk off on her. I'm not a doctor. Oh, the tilted cervix.
She stuck with me through some rough times, so.
Oh, okay. You know, you can stick with her with a broken veg. All right. Thank you. Okay. Let's see here. I'm reading my Twitter, my text. I'm sorry. Ted in Reno.
Hey, Jeremy.
Hi, Ted.
Hey, I'm dying to see. I'm really into exhibitionist stuff.
You want to have sex with your girlfriend publicly?
No, I'm actually want her like to show off in public.
Now, you want other men to want to fuck her?
Yeah, that too. But mostly, I like to get the reactions of other guys when they, see one of her tits out or bending over and seeing her ass in public.
But that's not her thing.
No.
So why are you dating someone that's always so different from you?
I really like her. She's a good person.
What does she say when you ask about this?
She just says it's a bit trashy, and she's got that Catholic guilt. But she grew up
being trashy. I know what you mean by that, but is it something that how long have you been dating her?
A few years, about 3-4 years now.
Oh, wow. Okay, so she's probably not going to change. Well, you have to make a decision. What's more important to you? Is it more important to you? Is the sex good with her?
Yes.
So this is just a fetish of yours that she's not honoring.
Right.
Well, what's more important to you? Do you enjoy the relationship more, or is meeting someone who will love this fetish more important to you?
Yeah, I think she's more important.
Well, then you've answered your own question. It sucks to date somebody who won't honor that fetish. This is one thing. Now, that's one I can almost understand her not wanting to do, because a lot of women might feel threatened showing their tits off like that or whatever. But a lot of women don't understand what their boyfriends or husbands need sexually and don't want to do it, and they wonder why we're jerking off to porn constantly. See, that you also might want to address, maybe you have a bit of a sexual addiction too. I mean, maybe the problem is not her being unwilling to do something, but it's your addiction that needs her to do that just to feel good or to take it up a level. So maybe you might want to address that.
Okay. All right, Jim, well, thank you.
Okay, good luck. I mean, I understand wanting something. What was Brian in El Paso saying about determination? I ran out of fucking. Huh?
Sure.
What's your question, Brian?
It's getting the determination to write.
The determination to write? What do you want to write?
Man, I teach and I work about 10 blocks from the international border here in El Paso, and there's some really interesting stories, I think. I heard your interview with Shane Smith, and, I was just wondering what your process is, and, what powers you to say, someone's going to be interested in this, because, there are times I'm like, I just, I'm like, am I being like, am I feeding my own ego here, thinking that there's an audience?
No, but you want to write, but sometimes what happens is the question is not how do I get inspired, it's how do I get rid of the laziness that is stopping me from writing. Because that's what prevents me from writing. It's a laziness. I like the idea of having a completed book. One thing you might want to do is why don't you try talking a lot of stuff into a recorder. Speak it out. Get it out. Sometimes getting it out is very important, and then you can go back over and transcribe it, or if you have the money, hire someone to transcribe it, and then you'll have it on paper in front of you, and then you can go in and edit it and see if there's anything interesting. But if you want to just get those raw thoughts out there before you lose them, then talk it into a recorder. Or make yourself do what you don't want to do. Make yourself sit down in front of the computer and just kind of brain diarrhea a little bit and see what comes out. And you may realize it's what you love, or you may realize you don't like it at all. But you have the inspiration because you want to do it. So you need to just do it in spite of the laziness preventing you.
Yeah, and like it's also like the internet is so fucking fascinating that I always get diverted.
Yeah, me too.
right.
So write in a public place. Right? Can you write in a public place like a Starbucks? I wrote a lot of my books in the Comedy Cellar because I couldn't jerk off there. That's the truth. I would like look at porn and stuff, but I couldn't jack off because I was in public. But there was just enough distraction. I need a little bit of outside distraction so I can look up once in a while and think, and then all of a sudden my mind is reset. So go somewhere public like a park or a fucking thing that has some Wi-Fi. Or you don't even need Wi-Fi if you want to write, but where you won't get so distracted. Go somewhere in the public where you can't jerk off, but you can look up a little bit and, you know, where you have a balance of outside stimuli and also you can focus on what you're doing.
Cool, man. I appreciate it.
All right, my friend. Good luck. Chris, lucky motherfucker in New Jersey.
Hey,
your girlfriend's an escort.
Yes, she is.
So do you drive her all over? Oh, I thought you meant the car. So now, was she an escort when you met her?
Yes, and I had my suspicions about it. And
how'd you meet her?
I met her on a dating site.
Okay.
And
she charge you?
No. Everything was good. Yeah, everything's fine. I just find myself. She told me about it, and what do you call it? I find myself going online and reading reviews about her and stuff like that. She's telling me she's not doing it, that she's only helping some other girls out. But there's just things on there that would lead me to believe that it's definitely her. And it turns me on.
Oh, okay.
You know, it turns me on. I guess I'm jealous that she's able to go out there and do it and get paid. You know, and but
wow, what you ought to do is this. Call her from another number or email her and see if you can get a picture.
Yeah, I've considered that, yeah.
Yeah, do you want her to be an escort?
No, I mean, I really love the girl. She's sweet. She's great. You know, we have a great time together. Sex is awesome.
Okay, yeah. Well, then just enjoy it. If you don't care, just enjoy it.
Right.
She should be honest with you, though. That's it. How long you been dating her?
7 months.
Oh, okay. Well, she should be honest with you.
Yeah, definitely. But she want to tell you, I got 311 days today, sober, clean and sober.
Oh, good, man. Good for you.
So you're definitely a great influence on me.
Thank you, buddy. Keep going with that. Life gets very, very good.
All right, man.
Take care, bud. Damon in North Jersey, he spoke to me 3 weeks ago about breaking up with his gal.
Jim, what's going on? How are you?
I'm well, buddy. Thank you for calling.
Okay, I appreciate your advice last time. I tried it out, and I don't want to be long-winded with my my question here, because I'm sure you're probably wondering, what happened with your advice or whatever. I did, I spoke to her directly, like you said.
What was the in a very brief nutshell? What was the issue? I don't remember.
My actual question was basically, should I break up with my girlfriend at this point? Because she occasionally smokes weed, once every week or so.
Oh, okay.
Because I have such an issue with it.
Okay.
And basically, we talked or whatever. She really didn't. What's it called? She didn't really budge on it. If there was no compromise made or anything like that. The only thing I can say is that there's been opportunities where she could have smoked at this point, and basically, hasn't, has avoided it, if you will. But at this point, my bigger question and concern is that I think it's more on my end, and I'm trying to figure out why, because you mentioned it last time when I called. Why do I have such an issue with, substance? Because
are you an addict?
I am a previous addict. I've been clean for 3 years.
Oh, that's why. Okay. None of us like to see people enjoying what we can't enjoy sometimes. So you might have to, and again, somebody doing addictive things, but if someone's smoking pot once or twice a week, if you feel it's going to affect your recovery in a bad way, then you have to break up with them if they don't want to change that. And both people are right. You're okay to want to break up, and she's okay to not want to change that because maybe she's not an addict. But if she's not an addict, and if you feel like, hey, this is not really affecting my recovery other than the fact that I'm a little jealous that she can do it and I can't, well, then you might want to examine it, because that's like some people who are sober will not date anybody that drinks, and that's a prerogative. But it's like, let's just say you met a social drinker, somebody that when you go out to dinner once in a while wants to have a glass of wine. Like, I don't mind that at all. But can I date someone who's a fucking falling down drunk? Absolutely not. My ex-girlfriend and I had an issue because she would smoke a lot of pot and then come over and she reeked of pot. And the problem was, I'm like, I don't care if you smoke pot, but don't do it right before you see me, because that smell is hard. That's a
you
trigger
had
for
mentioned
me.
that last time. That's what we had. We had an agreement worked out in the beginning for that.
Yeah,
And
that's fair
I
for you
thought
to
it would
ask.
be okay.
Well, maybe she's trying. You know, if she's given up a couple opportunities, maybe she's trying to not do it. Maybe because no one wants to be told what to do, and nobody wants to feel like a mother hen is telling them don't smoke pot. Because that's the shit she gets from her parents and, you know, and teachers or whatever, or she would have gotten at one point. So, you know, maybe she feels like she's doing it on her own now out of respect for you, even though initially she didn't budge.
Yeah. Now I want to ask, because you mentioned like with the alcohol or whatever, like even like again, she's not an addict, and even like last night, I can think of like, you know, she had a few drinks, and you know, if anything even goes a little bit sour, like I go straight to I get just vindictive and just pissy about the fact that she even like, you know, had a few drinks. And, you know, I know what you mentioned about because I'm an ex-addict and all that, but I remember as far back as, like, being, like, 11 years old, like, if, you know, people in the family would, like, get drunk or whatever, like, I still had these, like, weird, these resentful feelings. And I just, you know, obviously I wasn't an addict back then, or if I wasn't, you know, using yet. So I was seeing if you have any insight into that.
I don't know. Maybe you've seen it destroy people in your life.
Yeah.
You know, it's sometimes when we see, you know, bad shit happening because of alcohol and drugs, we develop a resentment against it. Or like anything else. You know, I don't know. You know, I don't want to make up something that's not true. Like it's a fact. So
yeah,
maybe that's all it is that you just did not. Maybe you just don't like to see other people doing it because A, it's hurt other people, or B, you're jealous.
All right, yeah, because I mean, I've tried through 2 years of drug counseling to figure out what it is on my end. That way.
And you keep saying by the way, you keep saying ex-addict. You're still an addict. You're just not using. Keep that in mind. I'm sure you know that, but keep it in mind, all right?
Okay.
Good luck, buddy.
Thank you, Jeff.
And now Joshua in Texas, really jealous guy, and the callers on this show are what? Joshua? Hello, Joshua? I'm like Professor Falcon. Hi, Joshua.
Hey, Jim. How you doing?
I'm well, buddy.
I listen to the show all the time from you, and my problem is I lost my parents whenever I was younger, and whenever me and my wife got married, she was pretty much my saving grace. You know, I was into drugs and all kinds of stuff, and you know, she really helped me pull me out of a dark place. We're both Christians, and she's a great woman. But every time I listen to the show and I hear these guys calling in saying that they want their wives to fuck other men, it just fucks my mind up just thinking about what if my wife did that. And I mean, I get so fucked up in the head, it'll completely ruin my day.
Yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I've never told her anything, you know, how I am or whatnot. It's so bad that I try to take things to the next level in our bedroom with just me and her, but like we'll go out to a porn store and buy toys and whatnot, but if we start using the toys, then I even get fucked up over the toys.
Well, do you have a little dick?
No, man, no.
Okay.
I'm like 6'6" with an 8-inch donger. So
Oh, okay. I'm only asking that because a lot of times that's the thing. We're afraid a girl's going to find a bigger, you know. One thing that's I've noticed at one point is I was very, very jealous for many years. Very jealous guy, very insecure. Because that's what jealousy basically is you're insecure. You know, there's times where jealousy is appropriate if your girl's acting like a fucking whore in a bar. But the majority of times it's nothing that serious. It's just us. And then I, for some reason, turned it around and began to get turned on by the idea of a girl I'm with fucking somebody else. So there's no reason that you should think that you should be turned on by that. A lot of guys don't want to picture their girl fucking anybody else, don't want to hear about her history. That's probably more normal. Being jealous of toys, are you an only child?
No, man, I've got an older sister, and my father was he was a sheriff, and man, he really fucked us up real bad. So yeah, we are both, me and my sister both are very insecure. I'm
wondering if it had anything to do with the idea of attention being focused on anybody other than you. Like, because again, if you're jealous that the toys are getting the attention or they're making her feel good and you're not, it could be something to do with that too. Because to obsess all day wondering about, you said you lost your parents early?
Yes, I lost my dad when I was 12, lost my mom when I was 20.
Oh, okay. That's not that early. I'm not taking away from it, but I'm saying I thought you meant when you were like a little kid. I don't know. Is it a fear of being left? Where, you start obsessing like she's going to see somebody and find somebody better than me and leave me. It could be that. But I don't think not wanting your girl to fuck other people is abnormal. I think that's very, very normal. Letting other guys think that way and then ruining your day is not good. Who cares what they do? And don't worry about your girl doing it. I mean, do you cheat on her?
Absolutely not.
Well, then she's probably not cheating on you.
No, I don't think she would ever cheat or leave. I think, we were made for each other and that we're fine where we are. I will say that I can't get off in the bedroom unless I see her enjoying herself. There's no such thing as a quickie in our house because I'm not going to see her enjoying herself.
Right.
So I'm not going to get off. So, yeah, you're right. If the toy is producing things that I'm not, then, yeah, I get all fucked up in the head, too. It's like, why is she getting off on the toy? Does she like it better? What the fuck?
Well, it sounds to me like you have a very good marriage and a good sex life, and you're just throwing a mental monkey wrench into it for nothing. You're making up scenarios and fantasies that are not reality just to make yourself feel bad, just to give yourself something uncomfortable to think about. Why are you throwing this mental monkey wrench into a fun situation? You got a woman that you love to fuck, and you enjoy her, and she's faithful, and you're faithful. So any of the other stuff is just mental noise. It's silly.
Right on. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's the equivalent of you're out to a nice dinner, and all you can think about is what if we get food poisoning? Enjoy what you have. If she fucks somebody, or if you think she's fucking somebody, then address it. But if not, then just don't even think about it. Don't drive yourself crazy thinking it's not going to happen. Why don't you just think about what happens if she decides to go on the Mars expedition and leave you? It's nonsense.
Right.
Enjoy it, man. You're lucky to have someone who's not cheating on you, and you're not cheating on her.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Joe. Think she's becoming asexual. Why, Joe?
I don't know. I don't know if that's the right word, but I don't feel like I have anywhere near the sex drive I should have.
How old are you? Is your testosterone dropped?
I don't think so. But, obviously I'm 33.
Okay.
And obviously when I was younger, I got laid, I did all that stuff, and I definitely enjoy those things. But, it's been maybe a year and a half now, and I don't find myself out seeking it like I think I should,
Yeah, because men... I'm sorry to interrupt you, but what you just said is very key. I think I should. If you have zero sex drive, that's one thing. But men, there's so much attention paid to women's sexuality, very little paid to men. We think that we are supposed to want to fuck all the time. We think, if you're with a girl and she wants you to stick your cock in, but you're not hard, you don't want to, she's like, what's wrong with me? It's perfectly acceptable for them not to want to fuck, but if we don't want to fuck, we immediately question our masculinity or our virility, or we think, what's wrong with me? Why don't I want to? Maybe you just don't have as high of a drive as you used to. That doesn't mean you're becoming asexual.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just part of it, I think it's just I'm a selfish single guy, and I enjoy that lifestyle, and I don't want that ruined.
Sure.
Which is more than obviously just the sex stuff. Don't get me wrong. If a girl threw herself at me, I'm going to take advantage of it,
Yes.
But I don't want to go through the upper. I jerk off like any guy, but even that is not always based on a sexual fantasy. That's a whole other issue, It's a weird thing there, too. I don't know. And like I said, I guess we're conditioned to think that makes us wrong.
Well, do you have some interest in sex?
Yeah, like I said, I would absolutely, like I said, and there's been instances, if I'm, especially if you're out there having a good time and a girl's at a bar, I just don't actively seek it out. And maybe you're right. Maybe that's not a wrong thing, but it feels odd.
Do you think Bill Gates or Zuckerberg actively sought it out? A lot of guys who are massively successful, it's because their priorities are other places. I'm sure those guys don't fuck that often. Zuckerberg's he married his college sweetheart. A lot of these guys probably did not pursue sex very much. Maybe on some of them did, but so many of the successful guys were probably not pussy hounds. So you're probably in very good company, and the fact that you're not thinking about it that often or not really pursuing it, I don't think is normal, is abnormal at all. And, you know, if it goes years where you don't want it, well, you might want to address that, but I'm sure you'll find somebody and want to fuck her and have a normal sex life. I think things get so out of whack, and we're so used to extreme and abnormal in pornography in this day and age, that if we don't want to fuck, we think there's something immediately wrong with us.
Right. Well, I guess there need people in the world like me to balance out folks like yourself.
All right, well, good luck to you.
Thanks, man.
All right, great. Guy's a eunuch. I'm just kidding.
You can do one more.
Yeah, you were great in Game of Thrones. Let's see. Oh, God. Dan in Iowa.
Yeah, okay, good. I was going to suggest that.
Yeah, of course you were. It's got a parental issue. Dan.
Yeah, how you doing today, Jim?
Hi, buddy. How old is your son? We only have a couple minutes.
He's about 14 years old. My wife screwed around with me 15 years ago, and we're a biracial couple, and he's black. I'm trying to figure out a way of telling him.
You're biracial. He's black. You're white.
Yep.
So your wife cheated on you 15 years ago?
Yes.
And is your son all black?
Yes.
Now, your wife, obviously, you know for a fact he's not yours.
Oh, yeah.
Now, he doesn't know?
No, not at all.
Are you angry at your wife?
No, I've been married with her for 14 years. I'm still married with her. I'm still
No,
into it.
but are you angry at her for that?
No, I love her to death.
When you see this kid, are you reminded of what she did?
No, I love the boy to death.
So why do you...
I need to tell him sooner or later because he's already asking questions. I got two other children that are mixed.
Oh, he's asking questions?
Oh, kind.
Oh, okay. Well, what does your wife think?
I think him and her ain't very close. Me and him are really close. And, yeah. I got to tell him because me and him are pretty tight, so I need to tell him sometime in the future here because...
Yeah, if he's 15 and you're not telling him just because you're angry at your wife, if he's really asking and you want to just be truthful with your son, it's not like he's 5. At 15 years old, you might want to tell him the truth. If he's asking, maybe the two of you tell him together, look, I made a mistake years ago, or whatever it was. But what about the kid's father? Where is he?
I've never seen him.
Oh, okay. Now, she's never kept in touch with him?
Never.
Was it a one-night stand?
Maybe a couple weeks into it. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not too sure.
Okay.
I used to work third shift, so I missed a lot of stuff at the time.
Oh, okay. Well, you seem to be handling it pretty well. But I would suggest telling him the truth then. As little as I know about that type of issue, because I've never dealt with it. But if he's asking and you have a close relationship with him, I can't encourage you to lie to him. You should probably tell him the truth. And maybe you and your wife tell him together, like however you want to phrase it. You know, right. Like, we got good news and bad news. The bad news is I'm not your father. The good news is I'm not going to act like I'm not your father. Then elbow him. Well, good luck, man. I would suggest just telling him the truth then if he's been asking.
Yeah, I just try a fair way of doing it. It's just kind of a hard thing to do.
I'm sure it is. If you want, just have him email me. I'll straighten him right out.
Oh, yeah. I'll do that right away.
Your mother's very naughty. All right. Good luck. I would tell him.
Thank you very much, Jim.
Bye. But then again, I wouldn't probably stay with it. This is a different guy than I am. So we're done? Yep. I have no more time?
Nope.
Well, I apologize to those of you I did not get to. Quickly, my boss wants me to have sex with his wife while he's something. All right, do it. Enjoy. I want to be made meds legally from Canada, but doesn't. I don't know anything about meds from Canada. I wouldn't trust meds from Canada.
They're great.
They're probably not as good as meds from the U.S., like everything else from Canada. I have a longtime girlfriend, but I need advice on what to
do next.
I would just say jerk off in her hair while she's sleeping. And George says, how do I approach about getting a happy ending in a massage? Just point at your dick and go, huh? Huh? See that? I help people even in the clothes. I have to take a shit.